So a way you can multiply two-digit numbers in your head is by using this idea of foiling, but we're actually going to go in the opposite order because there might be tens that carry over from the ones and hundreds that carry over from the tens. So for example, if you have 34 times 27, we can multiply the last together first. So 4 times 7 gives us 28. So we have 8 in the ones place with a 2 carried over into the tens place. Then if you multiply the insides, so 4 times 2 gives us 8, and the outsides, 3 times 7 gives us 21. We'd add those together, which gives us 29, plus the 2 that were carried over from the ones place. So that gives us 31. So that means that we have 1 in the tens place with 3 carried over into the hundreds place. And the hundreds really come from multiplying the first together. So 3 times 2 gives us 6, plus the 3 that were carried over, which gives us 9. So our final answer would be 918. Now, the reason this works really comes from the idea of multiplying binomials, because this same problem, 34 times 27, you can actually think about it as multiplying 30 plus 4 times 20 plus 7. So if you FOIL this, 30 times 20 gives us 600 because 3 times 2 gives us 6, and we have 2 zeros on the end. Then 30 times 70 gives us 21 with a 0 on the end. Then 4 times 20 is 8 with a 0 on the end. And then 4 times 7 gives us 28. Now, in a binomial, we'd be trying to combine like terms, but because this is a number, we can actually think about it as adding up the ones digits, the tens digits, and the hundreds digits. So if you'll notice, the first three terms all have a 0 in the ones digits. And that's not a coincidence because of the way that we split up the number into a 30 and a 4 and a 20 and a 7. So because anything multiplied by a multiple of 10 is going to have a 0 on the end, the first three terms are always going to have a 0 on the end. So the only number that's going to have a non-zero ones place really just comes from multiplying the last numbers together, the 4 and the 7. So that gives us an 8 in the ones place. Now for the tens place, if you'll notice the first term again is also a 0 in the tens place. And again, that's not a coincidence because we got the 600 from 30 times 20. And because 30 and 20 are both multiples of 10, we're going to have 2 zeros on the end. So the tens place really just comes from the outsides and the insides. So the 30 times the 7, or really just the 3 times the 7 gives us 21, and the 4 times the 2 gives us 8. So we add those together, that gives us 29, plus the 2 that were carried over from the lasts. So that's 31. So it's 1 in the tens place and 3 in the hundreds place. And the hundreds place really just comes from multiplying the 3 times the 2. And then so we get 6 plus 3 from carried over, so that gives us 918. So in reality, I showed the addition for this, but in reality, if you can do the addition in your head, that means that you can multiply two-digit numbers in your head.